minister has promised to take the execution forward starting this financial year. How would you rate the budget?
Well, 10 on 10. Hello.
Well, unequivocally a 10 on 10. But what did you, Rakesh, make? What do you believe has been the most game-changing idea in the budget presented by the finance minister? And where do you believe this leaves the Indian economy as well as the trajectory as far as our markets are concerned? What kind of dynamic shift will this entail?
Shireen, I think the budget is conveying much more than what we are understanding. I think it's, messaging a clear shift that the government will do what it takes to have growth in this country. And combined with the government's efforts to bring social justice, where the subsidy schemes are properly implemented, I'm told, most Indian households in 2 years will have direct water in their house. So, Mr. Modi knows that he needs to leave economic legacy. And that is the only way in which he can help the poor of this country. As Mr. Shekhar Gupta says, only if there is growth and there is that prosperity can come. So I think this budget is a clear indication that the Indian government is going to be bold, is going to take all steps that are required in order to propel growth into this country. And this has been done after you have laid a base to have that growth. In terms of RERA or the bankruptcy law or Jan Dhan, or the change in labor laws or the change in farm laws. So I think this budget is conveying, much more than what we are looking at. It's just only a budget, it's also a political message conveyed. And I think it's laying the ground for India to have double-digit growth. I will not be surprised, as I was saying in your Diwali interview, that in the next 3-4 years, if India starts having double-digit growth.
So you believe that this is a growth-oriented budget, and you also believe that this is a budget that Prime Minister Modi will want to take forward to showcase his economic legacy, his economic reformist credentials. But Rakesh, let's focus on some of the key themes for the budget.
I'm not talking of credentials. Yeah. I'm talking of reality. It's not a put-on.
Okay.
And if it's not a growth-oriented budget, then I don't know. I don't understand economics then. How can you even think about your question?
I'm saying that... No, I don't understand what you mean. I'm saying that you believe that this is a growth-oriented budget and it is an effort to consolidate the economic legacy that the Prime Minister wants to leave. Right. So that is the point that I was trying to make.
Not only it conveys a message that the government of India will take all legitimate policies and decisions which are required for us to have higher rate of growth. It conveys much greater than a budget.
Absolutely.
And first time India has been bold enough
not
to be afraid of these very bullshit rating agencies. India is one of, if you look at the League of Nations, India has got one of the lowest levels of debt to GDP in the world. What are we afraid of?
Yes.
It's a recent and bold India. You go and see what Mazoom Reza, I think is the analyst. You go and see what it does, that how India reacted to China. China was surprised at the ferocity with which India reacted. So we have a resurgent, bold India, all set on the way to double-digit growth. And this message, to me at least, conveys that India is going towards double-digit growth. समझना है तो समझ लो, नहीं समझना है तो
That is certainly the aspiration, and that is the plan as far as the government's intent in putting this vision document together.
That is not the aspiration, that is the new reality. Want to accept it, don't accept it, sit at home.
So why would anybody not want to accept it, Rakesh? I think everybody would want to accept the fact that we should aspire and achieve double-digit growth.
I think most people are still very contemptuous. They have no faith in their country and themselves. Have faith in India. Believe India can have 10% growth. And I'm telling you, in the next 25 years, India will overtake China. It's not about the stock market. It is about India and India's poor.
Most certainly, and I think that there is no argument on that. I think every Indian shares that aspiration. Every Indian shares that aspiration, Rakesh, of wanting to see the country progress and move forward and achieve the kind of growth targets that you spoke of.
I don't agree with you. I think most Indians are still contemptuous.
Okay, all right. That's a matter for another debate. But let's focus on what the government has promised by way of this budget. And I want to link that to what you believe could be the trend going forward. The CapEx emphasis as part of this budget, the focus on infrastructure, whether it is higher outlay as far as spends are concerned, the DFI, which the government has decided to set up, which also legislative framework will provide for private sector DFIs as well. How are you now reading the infrastructure story and what it can mean for growth in the next 3 to 5 years?
I see so much of money coming into this country that we'll not be able to absorb it, I'm afraid. Second thing is, I think the budget deficit for the first time, instead of 9.5% in the current year, I think it will be between 8.5% and 9%. And the extension of 6.8%, it will be between 6 and 6.5%. You can say that in your town hall, and I'm ready to have a bet. The budget, the tax collections will be much higher than what the government has projected. I'm ready to have a bet with anybody who wants.
The government believes that. The Economic Affairs Secretary as well as the Revenue Secretary both believe that they have understated revenue collections, and they do believe that they will be able to deliver a better number in terms of tax collections and thereby also perhaps better the 6.8% fiscal deficit target.
Absolutely,
so yes, already that is the point that has been made by the government on our shows.
Absolutely, and I believe it. I think tax collection this year will be at least 1 lakh crores higher than what they've estimated. And next year also about 1.5 lakh crores higher. And the government's emphasis on capital expenditure. And ma'am, this is what India needs. We partly came out of the sanctions of bullshit socialism in 91, and this is a second moment. I think this budget and the political message the government has conveyed is no lesser important than what happened in 91. And now we are doing it. Rajiv Gandhi said that whatever social welfare we do, 15 paise goes to the poor. Now I think out of 190 paise goes to the poor. And they are not only schemes. See, government has now abolished kerosene subsidy because there is no need for it. You're giving them gas. And also the transparency where the entire food subsidy has been brought into the budget. So we have a realistic budget. We have a practical budget. We have a budget for a resurgent and rejuvenated India. Right? And I don't know, how can you support these farmers in what they're trying to do? We are making wheat worth 1 lakh crores which nobody wants to eat, which is rotting in the godowns.
Right.
About 5% of India's farmers are against this law.
I'll come to the farm laws in a second. I just wanted to continue the conversation on infrastructure, Rakesh, because what we have seen this budget announce is also a significant capex outlay, an increase in the capex outlay for roads, transport, and the highways ministry. And while that is the sort of obvious infrastructure push, there are also other interesting elements that have developed over the last 3-4 years and have gotten an additional push this time around. For instance, the water mission, sanitation, Swachh Bharat. How do you see that side of the infrastructure, healthcare, a new healthcare scheme being announced? How do you see the opportunities opening up on this side of the infrastructure story?
And 30 to 40% of the diseases which children get and deaths are caused by waterborne diseases. Once we have clean water in every household, you know what it means for India? What it means for the poor? I think the emphasis on sanitation, clean water, I mean, the importance, I cannot imagine how important it is. As an Indian, suppose the budget increases my wealth, what difference is it going to make to me? What if if clean water can be given to every Indian, right? That is the time when I will feel happy. It's not only talk now, it's reality.